this year. And then, of course, the National Player of the Year from last year, Jocelyn Erickson in the 4-hole. Florida doing something they rarely ever do last night, being held under.
Setup pitch to go to look like a backdoor curveball. So this is a setup pitch, a changeup. Was supposed to be outside, but it ended up bleeding inside. But it helped tunnel this backdoor curveball, a little bit of rise ball, low rise ball action to it. That lefty on lefty matchup is going to be tough against the left-handed hitters in Florida's lineup.
Not often Taylor Shoemaker is fooled on back-to-back pitches, but Huebner got her there. A battle that we will certainly see many times over the next 4 seasons between these two talented freshmen. The left fielder Corby Otis's first chance off Huebner. She's 1 for 5 in the series with a pair of walks.
And I really think, Chucky, Jaden Huebner is going to be a pitcher that we're talking about for years to come. It's just hard to believe when you were so impressed by this freshman. It's a rubber match against one of the best offenses in the country. Your team needs you to step up. This home crowd does too. She gets 2 strikeouts in the first inning.
This dangerous LSU Tigers lineup. Danica Coffey leads things off, but it's all about the freshman, Tori Edwards, who is putting together not just one of the greatest freshman seasons in LSU history, but one of the greatest seasons, period, in LSU softball history. She will face off with the former SEC Freshman of the Year from a year ago, Keegan Rothrock from Whiteland, Indiana. Her SEC numbers are a little bit up, but still the undisputed leader of this staff, Amanda, and so much experience last year that'll help them in the postseason.
Yeah, and it's good to see her back out there after missing several weeks due to an injury. She started out the season really well in February, and then we didn't get to see her for a little while.
They missed 5 weeks from late February to the end of March. She got the win in game 1, went 6 innings, gave up 5 hits, 4 runs, and struck out 3. See what kind of adjustments the Tigers can make off of Rothrock. Jumps ahead of Danica Coffey, 0-2 to start things off, and Coffey wants to talk to Beth Torina down the third base line.
Yeah, Keegan Rothrock is going to be more up in the zone with her rise ball. She'll work a fastball as well, but she can throw a rise ball on multiple different levels. When that pitch is working its best, she's spinning it, not throwing through her spin, but letting that spin or relying on that spin to get swings and misses and locate that pitch at different parts of the zone. That rise ball is a pitch that she will use the highest percentage of the time at 40%. Also mix in a drop ball and a curve and even locate her fastball as well, which is what I think that we saw the first couple of pitches to Danica Coffey in this AB.
Here in Baton Rouge. Talent in Gainesville, year 20. And just the things he's done. I mentioned they've only missed supers 3 times in 20 years. That's absurd.
And I feel like as of late, he's done a really good job of using the transfer portal with a player like Jocelyn Erickson transferring over from Oklahoma, but also Corby Otis, Kenley Cahalan, Riley Holtorf. And to me, that 2023 year, when they had to travel for regionals, is the year that stuck out to me. Is after that, something needed to change. Something needed to shift in their program to never have to feel that again. Even talked to Kendra Falby about it, and she said, you know, we can appreciate that time back in 2023. It built character for us and the team, and we felt that. There's only 2 people left, actually, from that team that had to travel for regionals, but we never want to feel that again.
You mentioned the transfers. They've had back-to-back NFCA National Players of the Year. One of them is at the plate right now, and Jocelyn Erickson. The other one, Skylar Wallace. Both
walks and hit by pitches.
Now you bring Mia Williams to the plate. 17 home runs on the season. Watches strike 1. Dangerous spot early in this game against a tremendous power hitter, Mia Williams. Very similarly to Bajaran, was having a great sophomore year after struggling at the plate a year ago. Just 18 hits last year, and she's about to hit that number in home runs this season.
She's really upped her home run numbers, even had one in game 1. It was a towering shot, too. The amount of home run increase that she's had alone. She's always had the power. It's just been lacking just the overall consistency in her at-bats and her mindset within a game, at-bat to at-bat, pitch to pitch.
Team best 8 home runs in SEC play. This one off speed, she just fights it away.
I mean, this home run that she hit off of Huebner in game 1 was a towering shot. I think it went as high as the light pole, and then it went really high, and then it just kept going over the left field wall, and that was the spark that Florida needed. It's difficult to square Rothrock up because she actually will throw 3 different speeds. So her curveball and her fastball, she will throw the hardest. Her rise ball will be that mid-speed, and then also we'll mix in a changeup. Good stop there by Jocelyn Erickson. Great receiver. Worked together now for 2 years. But it makes her difficult to time up because of the way that she's able to change spin and speed.
Hodge thought that was a ball. It was not, and now a full count here. Erickson and Hodge that out of the 9-hole for the Gators. You know, Beth Torina has one of my favorite mic'd up Monday moments that's in our promo where she hits the ground at third base and she's slapping the ground.
Oh, it's epic, and it will forever live on. Remember, she pitched at Florida, so she wore that orange and blue.
Won 60 games in the circles for the Gators, 1998 SEC champions.
With the shorts uniforms. Did you see that, Chucky? The shorts uniforms, those used to be the thing with the trace pads. I even wore shorts uniforms in really my freshman and sophomore year, and then they started to get phased out.
So you did play in the modern era for a couple years.
Oklahoma's coffee down the line. That's, I think, a big reason why Beth Torina is going to go out and talk to her freshman pitcher and just give her a little reminder. Never hurts. Hey, when you're up 1-2, 0-2, let's be better in those counts. And maybe even, you know, might see a pitching change here. Yeah. Second time through the order, bring in Sydney Berzon for a completely different look.
From the freshman left-hander to the 2-time All-American junior right-hander, Sydney Berzon in the circle when we come back, fresh off a fantastic performance in Game 2. Berzon will face it.
That ball was been different qualities about that player that left. Other players step up the next year to try to kind of fill that void that they leave whenever they do graduate.
First pitch swinging for Sydney Peterson, who's actually seen her first action of the series for LSU in the 8-hole. 8-9-1 due up for the Tigers here in the bottom of the third, trying to respond after Holtorf came across for Florida on that bit of an awkward play defensively for LSU.
In Game 3, and I feel like that Game 3, I think you might look back at it as a turning point for her season, for Florida's season. She's such a huge part of their success the last couple of seasons. I mean, really shouldered a bulk of the load last season, taking it in the Women's College World Series, and it just seemed like when the game got bigger, she got better. Deeper and deeper as they went into the postseason. As a freshman, she was able to carry them for a good chunk of innings. And then unfortunately for her, was injured, missed a big chunk of time, and just has gotten better, though, since she has come back from her injury.
She had a 1.07 ERA following her first appearance back against Auburn from injury. But
this is a pitcher, too, Chucky, with Keegan Rothrock. She always wanted to be a Gator. She grew up playing on her little travel ball team called the Indiana Gators, and she looked up to see what colleges had a Gator as a mascot. And there was only one. It was the Florida Gators. And so she dreamed of playing in this Florida uniform and being a Florida Gator after being an Indiana Gator.
One of 3 sophomores on the pitching staff. Then you have the talented freshman Caitlin Oxley and then veteran Kara Hammock, who came in from UNCW. Nice pitch from Rothrock to Danica Coffey there. Back to the top of the order for LSU. Top 5 in the order, went 0 for 5 the first time.
The bat of a left-handed hitter, it's going to continue to move toward her. Gave her a chance to catch that like a well-struck ball. I mean, Jocelyn Erickson, it seems like every time that she makes contact, it turns into extra bases, and it looked like that had extra bases written all over it.
Reagan Walsh 1 for 1 with a single. Watches that pitch upstairs for ball 1. Let's go back to Oklahoma and Florida. What are you looking forward to most in that series?
Just it all coming down to this final weekend. I mean, Oklahoma has been playing so well since they lost the series to Alabama in Tuscaloosa. That was another Monday night game, and they lost the series on a walk-off home run to Audrey Vandegrift, and it just seemed like that was a wake-up call for Oklahoma. Their at-bats look different in the games following, and they've just really been putting things together and playing just with a really strong front. Same type of energy that we're used to seeing Oklahoma play with for the past 4 years. And it's just incredible the way that Patty Gasso and her coaching staff have been able to bring this team together despite losing what they lost last year. And
fun game.
Huebner would get the start and Berzon would come in. And just when you think about their mix, it's only fitting. I mean, Huebner did pitch really well, gave them a quality start. You can see what she's capable of, and then bringing in the All-American of Berzon, giving a completely different look.
That type of plan that she's talking about, splitting the game up tonight, do you just feel like we're getting a little closer to the postseason? We're starting to toy with kind of strategies and how we're going to use these pitchers when it really matters?
Yeah, I think that we're seeing coaches use their aces in a lot of different roles all throughout a 3-game series, putting a lot on their plate to start multiple times in a weekend, maybe to close multiple times in a weekend. But I feel like that is a theme that we've been seeing with aces, is maybe to bring them in to close more than you start them in a weekend. Every coach is going to use their pitching staff a little bit differently, but that does seem to be a theme this year. So differently. She is so strong. And just to think, that is a redshirt freshman playing in her first complete full year as a college softball player.
Comes from a really athletic family. Her dad, Tyrone, played football at Cal Berkeley. Mom, Tammy, was a cheerleader at Washington State. And her brother played 3 years of football at Columbia, but he finished actually this year on LSU's football team. She said Mom and Dad have not missed a series all year.
Well, and she's just really, she started that as a young age, and she did want to make sure America knows that she's not just power. She has this hidden speed about her too that she worked with her dad, a strength and conditioning coach, working speed and agility as well.
She was more proud of the speed than she was of the power, which was interesting.
Hidden speed. A lot of people don't expect it, she said.
Strike one to Mackenzie Rudity, 0 for 1 tonight, 2 for 7 in the series. Rudity falls behind 0-2 to Rothrock. Nobody out, runners on second and third. That's a pinch runner, Madeline Gilio, a senior from Louisiana who has not played all season. But it is senior, I'm going to call it senior weekend because it's kind of been a celebration all through.
He just had on that pitch. I mean, this is the hitter that has the most experience in this LSU lineup alongside Danica Coffey. A fusion like that this weekend from them. They've been scoring off the bat of Tori Edwards, and of course we saw Sierra Daniels with the walk-off hit. That was a ground ball to the right side as well. An execution.
Talked this week to their assistant coach, Bryce. It's something they track every game, and Bryce Neal said they want
different ways that they can get a fighting tiger, and all of them are things that are within their
big series win.
And that all 3 runs in a game are scored with just a ground ball to the second baseman. But let me tell you, home runs are really pretty and sexy, but that ground ball to second base will score a run with the runner at third base as well.
That's what you were looking for at the plate, right? In your playing days, that grounder to second base.
It'll do the trick.
It has been the key for LSU this weekend. Now you give your 2-time All-American pitcher a 1-run lead with
curveball that Sydney Berzon was throwing a lot to his Florida hitters yesterday. It has such tight spin and gives them a different look. And of course, Smokey Eds, the home plate umpire, wants to take a look at it because it was hit off the end of the bat of Mia Williams in that foul ball. So just making sure it didn't cut it up or anything with that swing. That Beth Torina is going to be putting in there, not getting predictable. Most important part, and what worked so well for her against the right-handed hitters that had power, like Mia Williams, like Ava Brown, like Corby Otis, was her inside drop ball that she was throwing. So today, working that maybe a little bit more on the outside corner with that drop ball and her off-speed curve, just trying to mix things up.
2-2, full count.
Some late break to it. I think Mia Williams thought it was going to do something different, maybe go more down, but it was a drop ball that cut back across the heart of the plate, so it ended up looking like it was just down Main Street, but it froze her enough for that looking strikeout.
Berzon has faced 6 batters and retired all of them. Now faces Kenley Cahalan for the first time. Cahalan hit a soft line out up the middle last time to Sierra Daniels. She takes strike 2.
And there's that changeup. And Berzon is a really cool story because she grew up pitching a lot by herself. She actually went to boarding school and she was on her own for so long that she just had to kind of invent her own way to pitch. So she knows herself very well. She spent a ton of time just by herself with a catch net. She had a Rev Fire. That is a tool that would so because she spent a lot of time on her own, she learned to pitch on her own and be her own pitching coach really well. Really has a feel for her spin and velocity to the point where Coach Torina said when she came in, she could say, all right, throw this pitch at this speed with a little bit of tilt, and she could do it. So it's been really cool and video game-like, Coach Torina said, for the past couple of years to call.
What do you think the most important thing is for a pitcher now versus maybe when you played, with just all the tools that these other teams have and the video and analytics they have on you?
Mixing speeds. Being able not just to throw 2 speeds, but being able to throw 3 speeds like you see with Berzon, as well as Keegan Rothrock. I mean, you have to be able to change speeds and mix things up against these hitters.
This series, and she told you that was one of her goals. She wanted a golden ticket. She'd been watching the other players receive them. She had no idea this was happening, and she told you, I want to keep playing.
And her eyes lit up about it when I asked her what's next for her, and she told me that, man, hopefully I get a golden ticket corner ACL, and just for her to get back and contribute to this team as a leader, their leadoff hitter, and then to get drafted. What a moment for her after a tough year last year.
Corby Otis out in left field for the Florida Gators received a golden ticket a few weeks ago after she produced a walk-off win for Florida. There are 5 Tigers and 5 Gators who will be in the AUSL. Both teams well represented as that pitch just misses to Bajaran.
And the AUSL is getting a bunch of winners too, because everybody that's gotten it so far have all won the games that they got it after. There's Corby Otis.
Makes the celebration that much sweeter.
That much sweeter.
Bajaran picked up her first hit of the series, her last trip to the plate, a single, and then came around to score the first run of the game for LSU. Of course, the Holtorf solo home run in the 5th brings us back level at 2 apiece. Quick visit here for Stephanie Van Brakel Prothro, the new pitching coach for Florida this year. 2 years as the head coach at Memphis most recently, 12 years as an assistant coach at Alabama, and of course was a tremendous player in her own right for the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, so we played each other in the first Super Regionals. So Super Regionals started in 2005. That was my freshman year, and Alabama came to College Station. We hosted them, and they ended up winning to go on to the World Series, but Steph was the pitcher then.
How'd you do against her? What was your your average against her? I know you don't like these questions, but
no, I don't remember. I had just come back from injury myself, and I had a head injury, so literally I don't remember because I had the head injury. But most importantly, our team lost, and I can't remember how I did as an individual, but they went on to the World.
There's Air Leah for Aaliyah Andrews.
I like the fence, too, here, because you can rob a home run. It's so short.
Of course, Tim Walton talking about his center fielder earlier, Kendra Falby, saying he thinks she's the best in the country. And speaking of robbing home runs, she has made some
center field, incredible catches that we're used to seeing on this field, but comes up short.
First triple of the season for Reagan Walsh. Put up great numbers in SEC play, hitting just a touch under 330. Chance for Ava Brown. 0 for 1 and was hit by a pitch back in the second inning. Ahead in the count, 2-0. Takes strike one. That misses low, ball 3.
We have Mia Williams on deck, who is
in 5 straight SEC series. 1-0 from Rothrock, 2-0.
Couple of pitches that really missed big. See if on a 2-0 count, how close she comes to the plate here, knowing one swing can change this game.
3-0. Not much for Edwards to work with.
More over the heart of the plate. Looked like maybe they're going to start challenging her, but I think that with the way that she's been swinging the bat, I think you have to make somebody else beat you. So pitch around her, even go ahead and leadoff walk, basically pitch around her to put her at first base. An intentional walk is what it looked like to me. Make somebody else beat you.
So the potential record-breaking swing has to wait at least one more at bat, looking for the single season home run record that is owned by Bianca Bell. She has tied that at 18. Now Mackenzie Rudity.
6 balls in a row now for Rothrock.
Erickson wants to talk things over with her sophomore pitcher.
A good time for a timeout. I mean, just think about where we're at in this game, where we're at in this series, and Jocelyn Erickson knows Keegan Rothrock really well. Get to talk to her defense a little bit as well.
We always talk about the grind of the SEC season, but here we are kind of at the end of the regular season. What's this like as a player? I mean, feels like you maybe get lost in it a little in the middle of it, but now that we're here, you know the postseason's around the corner. What are those feelings like?
I mean, you're tired, but you just still want it, especially when an SEC regular season championship is on the line, and you want to do whatever it takes. And both of these teams are just playing for a little something extra. LSU playing just to continue to get back on track after a tough couple of series against A&M, and then Texas pushed across these 3 runs, couple of ground balls to second base, a sacrifice fly. Between Florida and LSU both, they're both very disciplined, take their walks up at the plate. A couple of teams that have the most walks in the country.
Could that be the decider? Beth Torina making a change at the plate. Instead of the DP Sydney Peterson, we'll see Savannah Bedell, a sophomore from Columbus, Georgia. Hitting .273 on the season.
Off of her bat, the first pitch she saw.
LSU feeding off of each other right now. Down to the bottom of the order, Sierra Daniel, who was retired on a tremendous play at shortstop by Holtorf. Her last trip to the plate, singled back in the 3rd. Erickson wants to talk with Oxley.
After that game one run rule, when Florida won 14-4, Beth Torina said post-game that she was a little bit disappointed in the responses and the fight from some people. And maybe a little bit of a wake-up call after game one of this series, because you're seeing more fight from this team, especially in this game.
Main in this game over at first base. Berzon looking on. Bases loaded, just one away for the leadoff hitter, Danica Coffey.
Couple of RBI. She has had a higher slugging percentage, a little bit more pop in her senior year. Every run with the Florida offense coming up to bat in the seventh is execution to the max we're seeing in this game by the LSU offense.
Potentially be taking this series from Florida.
It just didn't seem like they were playing well. It didn't seem like they were in a good place with how they were playing at all. Went to College Station and stayed in Texas and then traveled over to Austin. A long road trip for them where they went 1-5.
Looping off speed pitch for ball one to make it a 1-2 count to Bajaran. Louisiana native with Lassiter on second, and now a full count.
And we talked about what played very well. By the way, not going to be easy, but you'd much rather go in feeling better about yourself with a couple of wins from this series when you face them next weekend.
Edwards gets her chance. Maybe. Ball one outside.
Looks like they're going to go ahead and put her on first base. Again, just pitching around her. This will be something that she has to deal with, I think, moving forward. In that next series against Arkansas, they as well pitched to get around some hitters against Texas A&M this past weekend. Like, they're going to have the same type of strategy next weekend. And how will Tori Edwards be able to handle that mentally? That's not easy. As a hitter, you want to hit. You want to hit the long ball. You want to drive in the... One thing that has stuck out to me this year is just how quickly things can change in a game and in a series. More than in years past, I just feel like it's one thing that is really just noticing the flow of a game, how it can be a tight game, then all of a sudden it literally takes a right turn and a team just takes full control of the game so quickly. And I think that that's why this postseason is just going to be kind of nutty. It's just going to be wild. There's no clear-cut #1 team. Every team feels like they're in almost every game or in these series. So many upsets, walk-offs. It's going to come down to the final innings and the final outs here moving forward.
Michaela Walker runs at second base for Tori Edwards. She represents the winning run in this game, and you can be certain LSU would love to end this early against a Florida offense who has shown they can put up numbers in any given frame. Leno is 3 for 3. Takes that inside, ball 2-0. LSU absolutely living ahead in the count in this inning, 3-0.
Had good discipline all year. It's what has led to an improvement in their offense this season.
Two of the top 3 teams in the country when it comes to walks. There's strike one.
In this inning, there has been 6 free passes in this inning.
Avery Hodge can end it with 2 away. Sac fly RBI, her last trip to the plate, takes ball 1. Tim Walton wants to talk it over with Miller. Oklahoma next for Florida in Gainesville. That series starts on Thursday. LSU heads to Arkansas to finish their season. And then the SEC tournament begins on May 6th in Athens.
It's crazy to think going into next weekend, still multiple teams that have a shot at an SEC regular season title. It's a lot at stake going into next weekend. That series, Oklahoma, Florida, will be so good. A&M versus Tennessee, just fighting for something extra next weekend.
And regardless if Florida has a chance at the SEC title, they will have a huge impact on who could win it, because A&M and Tennessee will certainly be keeping a close eye on that series as well.